Hey Canucks fans, it's NHL Draft Lottery Day. So I thought I'd take a quick look at the history of the Canucks' luck in the NHL Draft Lottery. Spoiler alert, it's not very good. I'm Clay, email I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Wednesday, June the 2nd. This is where you get Canucks insight that's positive and timely. Shout out to my dog Mickey, who's here with me as I record this vlog. Shout out to my Hall of Fame members, Jens95, simalexander, Justin Credible, nucksfan number 29, Lucas Gates, Chris Seifried, Adam Broomfield, the Shea Family Channel, and Jamie Sports Talk and more. Thanks for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You are listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, I think you should, press the join button underneath this or any of my videos or on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Today is NHL Draft Lottery Day. I've been going back and forth whether or not I was going to stream it live or not. So I will be doing it, and I'll be doing it in joint, I was almost saying joint custody. I'll be doing it in tandem with Parker. ParkersPucks, my Canucks After Dark partner. So what we'll do is we'll both stream on our respective channels, but we'll basically be streaming the same thing. So if you want to join me, look for the notification between 3:45 and 4 sometime today. Okay, we know that the Canucks are slotted at 9th overall for this draft lottery. If they win one of the two draws, obviously they'll come in first or second, which would be amazing. If they lose both draws and one of the teams is ahead of them already, but one of the team jumps them from behind, then the Canucks drop to 10th. If both teams somehow drop, jump from behind, the Canucks will drop to 11th. And if both teams that win the lottery are ahead of them, then the Canucks stay at 9th. So basically, first, second, 9th, 10th, or 11th is where the Canucks can pick today. Once the Canucks actually get their pick, we can talk about prospects. I got to do a bunch of research. You guys know I'm not the biggest prospects guy. I usually vlog about the player once the Canucks take them as opposed to all the scenarios, but we have a lot of time to worry about that. Today I want to go through the history of the Canucks in the draft lottery, and it's a very sad history for sure. I'm only going to do the previous 9 years, and there's a good reason. I'll explain that as we go. So this year, 9th best chance of winning the lottery. We will see what happens in a few hours. Last year, no lottery pick because we didn't have a first round pick. We didn't have a second round. Actually, no, we didn't have a lottery pick because technically we were deemed in the top 16 because of points percentage. Remember, we were actually seeded number 7 in the Western Conference. Minnesota's number 10, played them in the play-in. So technically we were not a lottery team last year. And it turns out we didn't even have a pick into the third round, choosing Finnish defenseman Joni Jurmo with our pick in the third round. But for the sake of of completion, we know that the first overall pick went to the New York Rangers, Alexis Lafreniere. Okay, let's go to 2019. 2019, we were slotted into 9th, and we dropped to 10th. We dropped one spot, Vancouver. We picked Vasily Podkolzin, or as Stan Smith would say, Vasilia Podslovens. Regardless, Vasily Podkolzin, we're excited to see what he can do next season. So we dropped from 9th to 10th. We dropped one spot in 2019. The New Jersey won that, and they went from 3-1. They picked Jack Hughes. Rangers came in second. They went from 6-2. Capo Caco and Chicago went all the way from 12 to 3. So they leapfrogged us. That's why we dropped one, and they take Kirby Dach. So again, it went Hughes, Caco, Dach for Jersey, New Jersey, the Rangers, and Chicago. And then before Podkolzin, it was Byram, Turcotte, Sider, Cousins, Broberg, and Zegras. And then we picked Podkolzin at number 10. Interesting about that because there's also guys like Cam York, Spencer Knight, Cole Caulfield, Matthew Boldy on the board, all U.S. National Development Team players. But we got Podkolzin, as I've been vlogging about for the past week. I was happy with that. 2018, we dropped a spot as well from 6 to 7. We ended up picking Quinn Hughes. No one is complaining about that. But for that one, Buffalo retained number 1, Rasmus Dahlin. Then Carolina went from 10 to 2, so they leapfrogged us. That's how we dropped one. Svechnikov. And then Montreal went from 4 to 3, Kotkaniemi. I can't even say that name, as you guys know. So Dahlin, Svechnikov, Kotkaniemi. Then after that, it was Kachuk, Hayton, and Sedina before Quinn Hughes. 2017, this is the one that we dropped the most, but maybe it worked out the best for us. We dropped from 2 to 5. We had the second best odds to win the draft lottery. So New Jersey was the one who jumped from 5 to 1. They took Nico Hischier, and then Philly jumped from 13 to 2, Nolan Patrick, and then Dallas jumped from 8 to 3, Miro Heiskanen. So those were all three teams jumped us, and we dropped from 2 to 5. Then it went Cale Makar to Colorado, and then, of course, Elias Pettersson to us at number 5. Well, that's a pretty strong top 5 when you think about it. Maybe Patrick's the only one that hasn't worked out yet. Heiskanen, Makar, who's doing amazing things in the playoffs, and, of course, PD for us. So, dropping 3 spots, so that was our highest ever chance. Second, dropped to 5, and maybe we got the best player out of that draft. Well, although Makar, I'm sure, would have something to say about that. 2016, this was the painful one. We dropped from 3 to 5. We end up choosing Olli Juolevi. Excuse me. Toronto retained number 1, Austin Matthews. Winnipeg jumped from 6 to 2, so they jumped us, Patrick Laine. And Columbus jumped us as well from 4 to 3, Pierre-Luc Dubois. So it went Matthews, Laine, Dubois. Then Jesse Puljujarvi went to the Oilers at 4. I was hoping that he would fall to us somehow. And then we took Olli Juolevi at 5. So it's funny what a year difference makes. Pettersson at 5 in 2017, but Olli Juolevi at 5 at 2016. I like him. I'm hopeful, but I think we got to recognize his limitations as maybe his ceiling as a third pair defenseman. 2015, we were not in the draft lottery, and this was the year where, so 2016 was the first time that they went to 3 picks. So 2015, and before that, it was just 1 pick, 1 lottery winner. So we picked Brock Besser at number 23. We weren't in the draft lottery because we made the playoffs, remember the previous season, the 14-15 season, Willie Desjardins' first season. And then Edmonton Oilers, they won the draft lottery, and of course that was Connor McDavid. 2014, we actually dropped from 5 to 6. Remember, and these rules from back in the day, there's only one lottery for the first overall pick, so you can only drop 1 spot. So we actually dropped from 5 to 6, and that was Jake Virtanen with that pick at 6th overall in 2014. Aaron Ekblad of the went to the Florida Panthers with the number 1 pick, so Ekblad was number 1. 2013, this one's exciting. The Canucks dropped from 8 to 9 because Colorado won that lottery, Nathan McKinnon. But that 9th pick, you say, well, how were we picking 9th or 8th or 9th when didn't we make the playoffs the previous year? Yeah, we won our division. It's because we traded Corey Schneider to the New Jersey Devils, and in return, we got the 9th overall pick, who turned into Bo Horvat. Not bad at all for a ninth pick. Actually, you look at that list, that's the year that has McKinnon, Barkov, Drouin, Seth Jones, a lot of really good players in that cohort. And then the season before that, 2012, because that was the end of a second President's Trophy run for us. We did not have we actually picked like 5th from the bottom, so we were at number 26. Brendan Gaunce there, so not the best player there, Brendan Gaunce. And actually, I forgot even to look up who was number 1 in 2012, but it doesn't matter at this point. So you can see the Canucks have not had good luck in the draft lottery. In 2019, they dropped from 9 to 10, so 1 spot. Let's add these up. 2019, they dropped 1 spot. 2018, they dropped 1 spot, so we're up to 2. 2017, they dropped 3 spots, so that we're up to 5. 2016, they dropped 2 spots, so now we're up to 7. And then 2014, they dropped 1 spot, down to 8, up to 8. And then 2013, they dropped 1 spot, up to 9. So we've dropped 9 spots over 9 drafts, which is an average, obviously, of 1 spot per year. But it's more painful when you think that 2 or 3 of those years we weren't even in the draft lottery. So it's an average of more than 1 spot per year. And on a couple of those times, we had really high picks. We had a chance to get 2nd, at least starting odds, and then 3rd as well. So all to say, maybe, just maybe, the hockey gods have it in for us to win one of the 2 draft lotteries today. I can kind of see a thing where maybe Arizona wins one of them and then they have to redraw, and then the Canucks win. I'd be fine with that too. But a lot of things could happen. And if the Canucks do win one of the first 2 picks, then it cuts my research for the draft like by 90%. Then I'm only talking about 2 or 3 guys maybe, as opposed to a class of 10 to 15 guys. But let's worry about that later. Remember, today the Canucks can only pick 1st, 2nd, 9th, 10th, or 11th. History would dictate that we're not going to move up to 1 or 2, that we're going to stay at 9, 10, or 11. But I also think in a year that's been crazy, it was a crazy year for everyone, but especially for the Canucks COVID outbreak and how hard they fought, even though they were wrecking their draft position with every win at the end of the season. could this be the year where the hockey gods show us some love and give us a top 2 pick in this year's entry draft? Make sure you join me for my live stream today. Look for the notification between 3:45 and 4 this afternoon. And I'd love for you to join me and we can chat and we can watch history in the making together. In the meantime, leave a comment below. Tell me which of those hurt the most. I think the Juolevi one is the obvious one. And we're talking about draft lottery positions, not actually picks, because then you talk about Juolevi versus Virtanen. Obviously, it's bad picks. You might be happy with Podkolzin, certainly happy with Pettersson and Hughes. But remember, those are all off of lottery losses. So leave a comment below. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And tell me what you think is going to happen today. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to become a member of this channel if you'd like to. Stay safe, stay healthy. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Have a great day. Enjoy the draft lottery. God bless and go Canucks go.